go. It is Monday, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Heading Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am Scott Steen, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Rochelle, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together, we do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. As Scott and I try to guide everyone on their journey, their perilous journey to head back to the window. So it's good to see everybody in the house. David the Italian is here. JC Stone, D from Detroit, says, let's get some winners. That's right. You got your Matthew Stafford winner there. Detroit's favorite son, favorite ex-son, I guess. Scott, did you enjoy the game?
The game I found kind of odd because on one hand, it was close. Came down to the wire. One possession game like I thought it would be, which is why the Bengals ended up covering in the end. And yet, so I mean, that part was good. As a whole, we got to be honest, right? I mean, the second half was brutal to watch. I mean, for about a quarter and a half, nobody did anything. You had the 75-yard touchdown to Higgins to start. Then a dry spell, which felt like, I don't know, 3 years. And then you had the Stafford drive at the end for the touchdown. But everything in between was just so painful to watch. It was just punt after punt. It was so brutal. But as a whole, the game was close. So I can't complain too much. But that second half was not exactly pretty.
I think the Bengals took note on how the Chiefs played them in the second half each game. They just decided, like, yeah, fuck, we've done enough.
The defense did what they usually do. The defense woke up in the second half. But,
yeah.
I mean, the Rams, we're going to talk about McVay in a little bit, but let's just say it wasn't exactly a great game scripting job by him.
JC Stone says only 9 months until the refs fuck up another NFL game.
NFL. You got USFL in about, I don't know, a month or two?
You got the refs that couldn't make it in the NFL. So that'll be fun. Yeah, no, that was that
like 1 out of 10. What do you give the Super Bowl? I'll give this past one like a 6.
That was exactly the number that was in my head.
It was fine, you know, game was close, whatever, but I can't say that it was good football for the majority of it.
No, not at all. James Mounts in the house. What's up, James? Happy Monday to you. David the Italian says, I took the second half under 24. I was happy. There you go. That was a good, solid play. Didn't want to see any overtime there, I'm guessing. I had on my Rocket Mortgage squares, Scott, I had 3 and 0. That hit twice. I had it the wrong way. I had the what was it, 23-20. So I had the Bengals 3 and the Rams 0. And that hit 0 times. So
not good.
I put together all my two best plays I took for premiums were I took Cincinnati on the money line because that's just the way it normally goes. If the underdogs get there, they usually win outright. And I took the under, and then I took 11 prop bets. I finished half a unit up. I know you said you were about 3 units up on your stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, for the NFL, I was at 3.2. I lost the college basketball play, though, so I factored that in too. But yeah, made 2+ units. Shout out to the Gatorade. Definitely saved the day, the blue Gatorade, which both of us really liked. Besides that, I had a brutal beat on Odell. I had him over 60.5. He got injured in the second quarter.
I leached onto that as well.
I had anytime touchdown, so that at least that cash. But I also had Hendrickson's sack with you, and that was as easy as it comes. So
fourth play, bud. Joan says we're all going to be getting withdrawal now that football's over. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, happy Valentine's Day to you, Joan. I hope it's a good one for you. I hope you get to spend it however you want. If you got somebody in your life, I hope you guys have a great time. And if you don't, fuck them. I'm sure they're missing out. So yeah, what are you doing for Valentine's Day, buddy?
I was watching tennis this afternoon.
Well, at least you'll see. At least finally get some love, huh?
Yeah, something like that. It was 40 love, actually.
Do you guys see baseball happening next month once Ryan Page?
The truth is, no. I think spring training will be delayed by a couple of weeks.
I think we're going to be a month behind.
Okay, a month. I said a couple of weeks, somewhere in the ballpark.
I hope you're right.
I do think you will get opening day. I'd say normal time, or at least worst case, maybe a week off or 2. But I do think at the end, after it drags on for a little bit, both sides will realize after the whole pandemic year, we kind of have to get back to work.
They can't fuck this up, man.
So I do think eventually they'll figure it out, but I do think spring training is going to get chopped in half.
Stafford 2 picks, Golden. Yeah, that was one of my favorite props that I had plus money on. Plus 140 was at least 3 touchdown passes and at least 2 interceptions. So I was happy about that. Can we say the refs cost them a game
for the Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, was it a makeup call? Because you're starting to see a little bit of that twittering around.
I can't argue as a makeup call when the original bad call happened about an hour and change prior. So I don't think it was a makeup call to that degree. You can make an argument that, Cincinnati maybe grabbed him, maybe didn't, but, it makes up for the Higgins thing. Can we call a false start on the play?
Holy shit.
You had four of the 5 offensive linemen who jumped back before the snap.
You and I had talked about this all season long, mostly on our NFL show, about how that just didn't seem to be called this year. I watched the Kansas City Chiefs do it all season long. I watched in any other, and that's a new thing because they're always calling that. But I apparently they're letting them get about a quarter second, 0.2 second head start and getting into pass blocking.
Either way, that was my main point, is that even if you agree with me that the actual hold itself was an atrocious call, because I didn't see anything, you can't compound that with the fact the play should have never happened, because basically the entire offensive line flinched before the snap.
Yep. James Mount says the Bengals offensive line not good, and they never got holding calls throughout the playoffs. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of holding calls. There was the referees that they matched up with. Torbert, by the way, was the substitute referee that refereed the Kansas City Bengals regular season game, where they got the questionable call in the end zone that would have given the Chiefs the win. So I didn't have a ton of sympathy, even though it cost me money. I was like, well, there you go. Sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, Brownsbacker says so many false starts on the Rams weren't called. I agree. It's a thing this year. When I don't fucking understand it, but yeah, they're letting them do it. All right.
I mean, we got a lot more to talk about with this game through the actual segments, but
here's my thing with the whole refs. With the whole refs, you can't just come down and go, well, the refs cost Cincinnati that game, because without help from the refs, Cincinnati would have never been in that position, because you're not going to see a much more obvious call missed than the face mask on Ramsey there, or face mask, against Ramsey, whatever. They grabbed Ramsey's face mask and threw him to the ground. You got an explanation for that? Obviously, I guess you got an official that's not in the good position to see it, but come on now.
It's a call you got to make. See, the funny part is, let's just say that you ended up still having the pass interference challenge system in place.
Yeah.
Can you call that if it's offensive face mask and not offensive pass interference?
I was wondering the same thing. I don't know, man, because they've got the video crew now that can correct an egregious error for something, and it's only reviewable plays. So if there's something that they missed on the field or something like that, it's usually something along the lines of a personal foul or something that the officials missed. But why can't we correct that, Scott?
It's not pretty. I feel like it's a spot where the NFL, we talk about how it makes billions of dollars every single year, how they throw out a fake $1 million on marijuana research, and how they kind of show some of their funds in disingenuous ways. I still don't understand 2 things. One, how you don't have a perfect, or at least somewhat perfect, review system in place.
Right.
Especially since it's such an impactful moment to get these calls right.
Mm-hmm.
B is the concussion situation. I don't know how you can't find better helmets. That's a personal.
You know what? I think they're working hard to find helmets. I think it's just a case of physics, Scott. You can't have guys.
Oh, I get it. I'm not saying it's
miles
an
an
easy
hour
thing to do,
running headlong into each other, leading with their heads, and not have a call.
I get it. I'm just saying, when you're showing it, when you're making billions and billions of dollars, I do question if you're shelling out enough money to all of the appropriate causes. That's kind of my point.
Gregory Nagus says, I was pulling for Joe Burrow so he could become the first Heisman Trophy winner, #1 pick out of college, and national champion, and a Super Bowl winner. I didn't realize that. That would have been a great trivia question, because I would have had to stop and think about anybody that qualified for that. So,
do you think he tore his ACL?
I
Playing
don't. I
up his
haven't read
ankle.
anything on. I haven't read anything on it today. Have you?
I have not. It didn't look good. Let's put it that way. I
Neither
thought
one
he
of
might have
those.
torn something.
Well, Stafford going down earlier didn't look good either. His
Yeah.
foot was practically 180 from his leg. I don't know how the fuck you get up for that. You know,
I mean,
that's
that was
just,
like a clear sprain. Burrow
yeah,
just straight up grabbed his knee, and you just
yeah.
assumed that he was going to potentially. I expected Burrow to keep playing. It was a Super Bowl. I figured he would tough it out, but you can tell it didn't look great.
Gregory's saying I'm from Louisiana, and the New Orleans and the Rams messed over the Saints in the Superdome. Oh yeah, that was the hit that changed the rule where they did the year of pass interference review just because of that play. So
James, I'm actually going to disagree with you there. I was fine with Kupp getting the MVP. Stafford, I think, would have gotten it had A, he not thrown 2 picks, or B, the game-winning touchdown did not go to Kupp. I think if it ended up going to Van Jefferson and he makes that first down throw that we just saw, I think Stafford probably wins the MVP. But the truth is, he was pretty brutal for about 2 quarters, and Kupp finished with 92 yards, with 2 touchdowns, with the game-winning touchdown, and the fact he had one of the greatest receiver seasons of all time. I was not surprised Kupp got the award.
no, I wasn't. I thought it was going to be close. I thought they'd give the lean to Stafford just because he was the quarterback.
I thought the
But
2 picks were the tiebreaker there.
he didn't. That's exactly right. That you can't really give it to him. I don't think he got to 300 either.
No, I think he finished in like 297
something. Maybe.
But I do think that
283. So
if the final touchdown went to somebody else, I think that Stafford wins that award.
Probably, yeah. I think you're probably right. But yeah, three touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 283.
It's fine.
QBR 60.8. Yeah. You're not going to give it to him. So,
James, I will be honest about one thing regarding Collinsworth.
I was just going to bring that up. So
the issue that I mainly have with broadcasters when it comes to really just any football crew, especially with Aikman and company, I know he didn't do the game, but can we roast the quarterbacks during the game? You don't have to tell me how difficult the throw is when he misses a throw that he's getting paid $40 million to make. The throw to Van Jefferson in the end zone was tough. Of course, you had a guy hit to throw it over. You got to make that throw, man.
Yeah, that's an easy throw for 80% of NFL quarterbacks.
Like, I don't need to hear how difficult it is to arc the throw over. It's the Super Bowl. You make the throw. Can we at least acknowledge that Stafford, instead of telling me how good the coverage was, which wasn't even the case half the time, he was brutal for about 1.5 quarters of the game, and nobody said anything.
Right. Yep, absolutely true. Except Collinsworth kept praising him because he's getting it done with absolutely no weapons. No weapons, Scott.
One of the best receivers in NFL history.
Right. Except the receiver that just had arguably the best season in history, except for that guy and a full cadre of running backs and your offensive line intact, you got nothing.
Zotto with a good point. Mixon might have made that throw to Van Jefferson. No, Mixon had the best throw of the entire day. I thought that was a great pass to Higgins. But I just want announcers that are willing to criticize a player every now and then. And I feel like Stafford, and really just the entire NFL season, you will hear people give the quarterbacks passes during the game, when in reality, they just miss a bunch of easy throws. That Stafford throw to Van Jefferson, you have to make that pass.
You're right. Okay, so let's do our thing here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't, we're going to start replaying the Super Bowl commercials, which we could do a whole show on how terrible those were. Awful commercials. Just get worse every year. The more they spend, the worse they get. I don't know how that works.
Uber Eats, by the way, quick non-Donkey of the Day nominee, because that's one of the worst commercials I've seen all year.
Not good, Scotty. And of course, don't forget to check out our pals right before we do. They do the show right before this one. Chris King and Jim Williams doing just parlays every day at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. So check that out as well. All right, Scott, let's get to it here. We will. Man, it's going to be kind of Super Bowl related, by the way. Spoiler alert. So let's find out who you are out there. Who took it in the shorts and who took it to the bank? It's the Super Bowl edition. I'll call the cops. All right, let's get her started. If you had, we talked about this one. There's a good chance we talked about a number of these, Scott. But if you had OBJ over 60.5, like my partner and I both did, had 52 yards, 3 minutes left in the second quarter. And you saw the one thing you could not take, and that was OBJ down with a torn ACL, finished with 52, 1 touchdown, on his way to a fantastic redemption day and cut down in his prime. If you had OBJ over 60.5, call the cops.
And second one, if you had Matt Stafford over 6.5 rushing yards, he had 7 yards with less than a minute to go. And you're praying Cincinnati drains the entire clock. They did not. Stafford took 1 kneel down, lost the yard, finished with 6. Call the cops.
You know, and I've got an honorary one. Let's do this. If you had the Rams first half team total over 13.5, they had 13 points with 12:50 left in the half. Tony Romo, the extra point attempt. Holy shit. And
Good snap.
They never had. Oh, fuck yeah, it was a perfect snap. He was putting the ball down. He Tony Romo'd it, dude. Rams had 13 points at halftime. That's what they finished with. If you had the over 13.5, call the cops. I'm going to give you another one. If you rode with me on the under 9.5 in the first quarter, that was an absolutely fucking brutal beat as they had
one clock. You just need one handoff.
That's it. That's all you had to have. Or complete that swing pass and tackle him in bounds, which they were set up to do. All you got to do is fucking catch it. And no, 3 incomplete passes. Clock doesn't run. Here's your field goal. Suck a dick. You're done.
That was brutal as well.
Not good. Not good at all. Well, there was some good news out there. And luckily we were on the right side of some of these as well. You know who you are because you probably had a fistful of props that hit early. And congratulations, because you were sitting in the Super Bowl rocking chair.
So, first one was a prop that both of us liked. It was Trey Hendrickson to record a sack. And he had a sack on the 4th play of the game. So, I mean, there was no point in watching the rest of the game, right?
There really wasn't. If you had Cam Akers under 60.5 yards, I loved that play. We talked about that on the show. He has been awful since he came back, and he was awful yesterday. 13 carries for 21 yards. I believe his long carry was 4 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
He didn't fumble.
What's that?
He didn't fumble.
Good point.
Progress.
Good point. A lot of sharp people like the over there. I didn't see it and ended up being right. Congratulations.
I mean, we talked about it on the show. I like the under just because of the shoulder issue and the fact that Henderson was coming back. So even if Akers looked good, I thought they would go 3-person committee there. Turns out Akers got a lot of touches. He just didn't do anything with those touches. But anyway, last one. If you had Jamar Chase over a 27.5 yards for longest reception,
didn't take long.
Casual 46-yard reception in the first quarter, never in doubt.
Now, you know, I'm not the biggest Joe Burrow fan. I think we've talked about how he seems to be a little bit overrated, perhaps, but I will give him his due there. He dropped that biscuit right in the basket. Right,
it's a hell of a catch by Chase.
It was, and it was a fantastic catch. He threw the ball the only place it could have been thrown, and Jamar Chase made a catch that not the majority of NFL receivers make right there. So
Dez would have dropped it.
Dez would have dropped it. Very good, very good.
Well, I actually want to talk to you a bit about the game before we get into these segments here. Do you blame anybody in particular for the Bengals' loss? Because Burrow, I know you just said that you think he's a bit overrated, and I do know the media was treating him like a god for the last couple of weeks, but I'm not going to blame him for being on his ass the entire second half. I feel like he was just set up to get absolutely crushed. He got injured, he played through it. I'm not going to blame Burrow for the game yesterday. You can blame Eli Apple, which is the fun angle. I'm not going to do that. You can blame the refs for the holding call on 3rd down, but I don't even know who you blame. Do you just blame the offensive line?
Yeah. You blame the lack of ability of the right side of that offensive line to hold up under pressure, or blame injuries, or whatever you want to do. So, Scott, Jamar Chase, generational talent, fantastic player. Were we right that they should have drafted an offensive lineman instead of Jamar Chase?
See,
did it take us 20 games or 21 games to find our vindication, but did we ultimately find it, Scott?
I'm actually kind of happy you asked that question because I was going to ask that and I forgot to when I thought about the game last night.
Right.
They probably don't get to the Super Bowl without Jamar Chase,
Mm-hmm.
but it depends how bad Burrow's injury is in the game.
Right.
Because if he, worst case scenario, tears an ACL again, which would be his second torn ACL in 2 years.
Different one, by the way.
Yeah, you can make a serious argument that as good as Chase is, you probably don't want your quarterback to have 2 knee surgeries in his first 2 years. But I do think you take Chase because Chase is already a top 5, top 10 receiver in the league.
What was I
get why you're asking it. It's kind of
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I'm not taking a victory lap.
It's to cover our tracks because we said Cincinnati was stupid not taking an offensive lineman in the first round.
When we say they made a great draft pick, but they were stupid not to spend some money and get some help.
Yes, that's fair. I just think that at the end of the day, Chase got you there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I do think that it was worth it in the end. But all of our concerns about that offensive line were 100% right. They just managed to overcome Burrow getting killed and making it to the championship game anyway.
Temple checking in says that was a dumb question, Scott.
I didn't ask it.
I did. No, I'll take the fucking and I'll say what? No, it wasn't. Because you got your all-star quarterback that lost half a year last year due to a knee injury. And now you took a record number of sacks, not a record number, but he took the most sacks in the NFL and looking at another knee injury. So
I think it is a playoff record, though. He got sacked, 16 times in 2 games alone?
19. Oh, in 2 games, yes. And
2 games alone. It's
3 in the other 2,
sacks?
yes.
Yeah.
So 19 total. James Mounts brings up a good comp. Yeah, he would be Joe Namath. Absolutely right. Poor Joe limping around on those fucking knees at the end of his career with the Chargers or the Rams and shit.
Browns backer, I told you, man. Sharp money coming in on heads. There's my money, man. I was feeling heads this year.
I want to know where Curdy Flirty is. He called the national anthem right. He was 1 for 2. He said the anthem was going over. By the way, still loved the under there. It was clicking right along. I'm like, oh, I'm going to cash this easy fucking ticket. And then wide shot, here comes the choir. And I'm like, oh, I am fucked. And I said it out loud watching the game by myself. And I was absolutely right because the choir started sustaining the notes. She fucking double hit Brave. I mean, it was just a clusterfuck from Rocket's Red Glare.
It was the bingo card of what not to look for with an under bet on the national anthem.
Somebody asked about being able to parlay prop bets.
Player props he can, the rest he can't.
Right. That's pretty much the rule of thumb. You can't have any kind of a hint of correlation at all. And no.
I wish you could parlay the Gatorade color with the coin toss, but unfortunately you can't.
God, that would be they just call that the D-Gen special.
I mean, I hit the D-Gen special. I had heads and blue. So that pretty much, I mean, the coin toss, of course, I had a fun bet on it. I'm not counting it for anything record-wise, but the blue Gatorade pretty much saved my entire afternoon, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I went the wrong way, and I said red first, then I got the tip from Curdy Fleur. I started thinking about it. Yeah, it's going to be blue or gold. So since he's got a tip on the yellow, I'm going yellow. So, yeah, fuck.
I just threw yellow in anyway because I figured the Rams would go blue. I thought the Bengals were the question mark. So I mostly just went blue because of the recency bias. I believe 2 of the last 3 were blue. Mm-hmm. Red I had no interest in because I can't remember the last time there even was a red Gatorade used for a coach.
Temple says that they should have spent money on a lineman. And I think that's kind of the consensus we've come to because Jamar Chase is such a talent that you can't pass that up, but they absolutely should have fortified that offensive line.
I feel like, though,
nothing else.
The counterpoint you could have there is that before Burrow fully proved himself as being a top 10 quarterback in the league, even if you think he's overrated, I think you'd agree that he's top 10, right?
Oh, sure.
So would an offensive lineman, I know money, of course, is pretty persuasive, but would you want to go to Cincinnati, who was what, 4-12 last year?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to go there? Yeah, would you want to go there? Probably not. But the point is now that you've proven that you have a Super Bowl, I'd say, competitive roster, I do think more players, offensive linemen in particular, would be more interested in going to Cincinnati.
Yep, I totally agree. Bill McDonald saw that you guys were on with Allie and Detroit Lenny yesterday. Yeah, we had a great time with them. They're a lot, man. They're high energy. We got to have them back on the show, dude, because it's a good time. Bronco Devil says I feel D-Gen when I bet on spring training. Now, you did not bet spring training last year, right?
Spring training, I did not. I know you liked the Royals, and the one time you picked the Royals, they lost 13-0.
Right. They still end up winning the league.
Yeah.
as they almost always do. But yeah, the one time I picked them, they got just hammered. It was somebody that was pitching that had been just fucking lights out, and they were, apparently that was the day to work on their knuckle curve or whatever. And yeah,
Brad, I'm assuming you mean OBJ, not LBJ.
For LBJ too.
I was gonna say Lyndon B. Johnson's been
he had a good run,
doing his own thing for a while. He had a good run. I believe he was president at one time. But no, I think you mean OBJ. LeBron was there. See, I found LeBron's presence weird because of course he was there and he's the most influential basketball player. Like that's fine. I don't know who he was rooting for because he's in LA.
I wondered the same thing.
You think maybe Rams,
but he's Ohio to the core, man.
But he's Ohio to the core. But he's always been a Browns guy.
Yep.
Would he have been celebrating no matter what? I'm not going to make this a LeBron special because I don't really care. But I'm just curious. Was he going to cheer no matter what?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I don't know.
Canada, China over 4.5 goals. That's a sweet DGen special.
It's like 4.5. Is that like a huge minus price? Because Canada might score 7.
Those must be a team total, right?
I'm assuming it's a team total because Canada should score like 7.
Did they riot in LA? I didn't see that. Did they turn cars and fucking set cars on fire and shit?
Bronco, that's a pretty good call there. You took LBJ to pass the Civil Rights Act to -120. That's a bargain. It's going to close at -150. Okay,
that's the comment of the day.
He did a great job in Forrest Gump. Hell of an actor.
They Ali and Detroit Lenny talked about all the contests they do on their show, and I think we're going to start doing that because
I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, I think it sounds fantastic. I might stop. And here's a piece of news. I may stop doing Capper of the Day and just roll it into like weekly contests with our guys with real prizes and shit. I think that'd be fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they got stupid out in LA. Fuck.
That doesn't surprise me.
Although we've seen LA, they don't need much of an excuse to hold a riot.
Paulie, even if you don't like OBJ, there's no way he faked the injury. His knee's completely destroyed.
Oh God, yeah, no.
Like I get it if you don't like him and you think he's a head case.
Yeah,
there's no way he faked the injury. His ACL is like totally destroyed.
That's what he waited.
like that is no. Like he's done. He needs massive surgery.
He waited his whole fucking life to see it. David said he saw it on the morning news.
That's his second ring, or is that his first ring? He wasn't there for the second one against New England, right?
I don't think so. I don't think
he was there either.
No, I think that would have been his first ring. I'd love to win the Chiefs spinning lamp. Dude, that's one of the coolest things I ever saw. And that's Bronco saying that. Fuck off. I know he doesn't want the spinning lamp. AJS says I won 2 Capper contests already. Excellent. The whole Super Bowl setting was terrible. Crowd was dead. Halftime entertainment. Not a fan. Obviously from St. Louis, so no hard feelings.
Well, I mean, the truth is that the Super Bowl now is for the rich because what's the cheapest ticket? $6,000?
No. I mean, you can get in a lottery and get them at face for price, which is probably $1,200.
I saw parking outside was a couple $1,000.
Yeah, somebody was talking about a $6,000 parking spot.
That's what I'm saying. So if you want the fully entertained, crazy crowd that you see like in college football, you're not going to get in the Super Bowl because most people, your average Joe Schmo, they can't go. So you're going to see a lot of fans, mostly celebrities who can afford the ticket. But that's also why I'm a bigger fan of college football. I think the crowd in college football is just unparalleled.
Yeah, no question about that. James Mounts brings up a point that you and I were talking about when we were doing our pre-show today, and that is the Rams' role if OBJ doesn't get hurt.
I think they win by 14 plus.
Yeah, I think you and I both agree with that. But that ain't the way it worked out. Eli Apple, holy shit, man.
Bad.
Just awful.
That's another position the Bengals need. Another corner wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, absolutely right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this because this is the rich don't want to hear that kind of music. Bring in the Temptations. I think the Temptations, they did a salute to Motown. I think the Temps and the Tops and all that. That was a great show, by the way. By the way, Scott, there is a right answer to this question. Best show, Super Bowl show of all time?
Ooh. I'll tell you what, though. I'm not going to vote for this past one.
Okay.
I think it's top 3 or top 5. I thought
Okay.
it was very good.
It was good.
I still think Prince Purple Rain in the Rain is still like an all-timer.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Water shortage. They've built a lake outside the stadium. That's a great point. That's a great fucking point. All you hear, water rationing, don't water your yards. And can we have a lake in the middle of fucking Inglewood? Is that possible? Browns backer. I was talking with my wife last night about the same thing when she got home, was watching the game with me. Why do you have a fucking dome in Los Angeles? It's 82 degrees outside in February. That's why you have the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. You wanted to put it in a fucking dome, you could put it in Detroit. You know, they did that once. They put it in Minneapolis once.
In defense there, though, the Cardinals have a dome in Arizona.
That's true. Well, because it's fucking hot. September can be 105 degrees in Arizona.
Can't it be hot in Los Angeles?
What's that? No,
it's maybe not that hot, but
it's not the it's not the goddamn
it's not the desert. But
if you're on the other side of the valley, dude, where they are, you don't get to 95 much even in the summer. Now the valley gets hot because it's a desert, but on the other side of the mountains, no.
Yeah.
AJS wants us to do some picks today. Well, okay. We talked about the Super Bowl for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the Super Bowl, so you know we're gonna fucking yak about it. But number two, and neither one of us love this card. So
it's not a great card. I mean,
too damn hot in Phoenix. Yeah, well, for 6 months it is, but for the other 6 months, it's a great place to be.
I'll tell you what, though, one thing I do want to add to my bucket list on sporting events I want to go to. I want to go by the 16th hole at the Waste Management.
Yeah.
That's an all-time thing that I got to actually look into. And I mentioned it because, of course, that was in Phoenix, but that's the type of environment you want for the Super Bowl. You just want people going nuts.
I'm all about it. And I'm old, Scott, and I like traditional golf. I love the Masters. But fuck, let's have a tournament where it's chugging beer and throwing shit onto the course.
Even one hole in one, just start bombing beer cans. Yeah, I'm in.
You know what? If for no other reason, just to piss off those stodgy golf motherfuckers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You know my theory, and I've yet to be disproven, except by my own child. But I have a theory that anybody plays better than bogey golf. I've never met one that wasn't a fucking douchebag.
Okay.
So let's see if I can piss off some good golfers that follow us. And maybe if you're out there, I'm ready to stand corrected. But the only one I haven't met that wasn't a douchebag, and my kid plays consistently in the 80s. He's not a great golfer, but he's not a douchebag because I raised him. All right.
Personally, all I know is that I've never been to Phoenix. I would actually really love to be at the 16th hole for that tournament. That just seems like a hell of a time.
Yep, absolutely. Are you guys coming to Vegas in March? Scott is. I don't think I am. I would like to go to Vegas sometime during the NFL season. I like to go out for an NFL college football weekend. So
I haven't officially booked it, but I'd say probability-wise, there's about an 80% chance I'll be there.
Brad Crawford said I played the 16th hole at Waste Management last September. Very cool. Does not look the same. Obviously, no bleachers. Nobody in line to see Brad play. Come on, dude. Did you get a hole in one? Did you par it at least? That's what I want to know. I played Pebble Beach one time, Scott. That's the only claim to fame that's the only famous golf course I ever played. Spyglass.
Was your handicap north or south of 40?
Oh fuck no, I'm an awful golfer. Yeah, okay. That's 40 is a pretty good number. It was.
I can truly say I've never played a hole of golf,
dude. That was 1985, and I think we paid $350. I can't even imagine what it fucking costs now to play out there.
Mm.
But it was unforgettable. I highly recommend it. That should be a bucket list thing there. You had that chance in November in Vegas. I didn't want to. I wasn't into traveling with the fucking pandemic. Once Delta came and all the bullshit. Again, old fat man here. Scott travel, fuck, he's fine. And me, he sniffles. Me, I get it. I'm on a vent. So no, I wasn't willing to chance it. That's why we didn't go out this fall. So because we talked about doing it. What tees did you play from? That shouldn't even be a question. I did not play from the Blacks. How about that?
I'll tell you what, though. All I know is that when it comes to golf, I've never actually played a full hole on an actual course. However, I will give anybody the business in mini golf. Anybody.
Fair enough. All right, let's look at tonight's card. Anything to call you like Bill and Mary, Scott? Getting a shit ton of points.
Yeah, because I'm going to go against Wilmington, who's covered almost every conference game except the game that we had together. That game already started, by the way. They're in the second half.
Oh, did it? Fuck them then.
Wilmington's up 6 right now. So
Okay.
William and Mary's actually hanging in there. But looking at the actual card, I was tempted by St. Bonaventure,
Yeah.
-2. The tricky part in that game is they just played each other over the weekend. So I have a hard time fully evaluating the immediate rematch, especially since St. Louis was favored in the first game, and we know St. Louis has been the more consistent team overall. But I would lean Bonaventure just because I do think they've been underperforming this season, and that's the kind of win that might turn around your season.
Yeah. Well, didn't they have a nice win against St. Louis last time out?
No, I'm saying that was over the weekend. They beat St. Louis last
Yeah.
game on the road. So that is a type of game that might
Yeah,
snowball.
I had SLU there. They jumped up on me.
Yeah, so I'm saying I like Bonaventure in this one, but it's really tough to beat the same team back-to-back with like 1 or 2 days off in between.
Yep.
So I'm kind of tempted to stay away, but I would lean Bonaventure in that spot.
Asking about IUPU Fort Wayne against Cleveland State. Cleveland State kind of doing their thing, always on just sort of under the radar till this time of year when they usually put a little kick in it. Scott, this Fort Wayne team has been decent. Covered 3 of the last 4. The only one they didn't cover against was IUPUI when they beat them by 15 instead of 19. I'll give you a pass there. This Cleveland State team playing very good basketball right now, but not exactly a fantastic road team. And
like most college teams.
What's that?
Like most college teams.
Right. And they've already played Fort Wayne twice at home and failed to cover 10.5 each time. So is the number a little bit of an overcorrection? You like Cleveland State here? Or are you on the home team catching a couple points?
Well, there has been a decent amount of money on Cleveland State. I believe they opened up at +1. Now they're at -2. But I'm actually going to go with the home team here. IPFW has been a mediocre team this season because they're really good at home and really awful on the road. But they're at home for this game. So I do think you're looking at some value potentially with IPFW. I'm going to go with them. I feel like this is a kind of a coin flip game. And Cleveland State has not impressed me on the highway this season. They haven't been awful, but they're not great. I do think that you're looking at a spot where if you liked Cleveland State, I think you might have missed the boat on it because you already missed a 3-point line move with a favorite switching.
Yeah.
I think it's IPFW or pass.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. I feel bad being late to the party, but I'm the other way. I'm Cleveland State or pass there. Okay. Reason why Nets are underdogs at Sacramento
because they've lost 11 straight.
There you go.
I mean, Sacramento's a brutal road team. They did beat the Wizards last time out on the road. They got Sabonis, so now they have a big man to go with Fox. I still hate the trade for them, but for the sake of their overall roster, Kyrie's going to be out because, of course, it's a home game, so he's not playing. Simmons is not playing. Curry and Drummond should be in the lineup, so they're going to help out the depth. But we're actually going to talk about this game a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the Kings are attempting play, but there has been money on the Nets. I can't back the Nets with no Kyrie and no KD. I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to back them. They've lost 11 in a row.
Harden's out again.
Harden's on a different team, but yes, he is still out again.
Is he out?
For me, it's either Kings.
I didn't even know if he was really out.
Maybe even a Kings team total over. Just, I don't know how you look at the Nets and you're looking at Patty Mills, Seth Curry, and Cam Johnson? Are those your 3 best offensive players?
Oof. Really? Yeah, you're right, though.
I mean, they don't have many guys.
Yep. Washington State, Oregon.
I liked Oregon on the overnight.
All of a sudden, Beavers playing some decent ball. Scott winning.
Well, they're the Ducks. So
I mean the Ducks. Sorry, winning 4 of their last 5. Came up short against California, where they actually just fucking puked on their shoes.
That was the last game too. So as soon as Oregon seems like they turn a corner,
yep,
they completely fall apart at home against California. I still like Oregon in the spot.
Yeah.
Defensively, I just think that they're going to put the clamps down. Washington State, though, has actually been decent on the road this season. They're not terrible.
No. They had that little stretch where the defense really stepped up against Utah, Colorado, Stanford, and California, where they were giving up like in the low 50s. And I jumped on them, and of course they've lost and filled the cover 2 in a row since then. So you're welcome, all you Washington State fans. Yeah, I just think somebody said they're gonna have a hard time getting to 55. That could be true. They may have a hard time getting to 60. I'm not sure I put it at 55, but
Yeah.
it could be 60 or less. And is 60 or less, Oregon's going to cover easily. So
I see like a 68-61 type of game, something like that.
Yep. Brad says, yeah, we were all on slew Friday night. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Absolutely. Good devils, but it's easy to beat a team 3 times. He's on my shit today, man. He really is. Fucking Broncos fans. What do you expect? Paulie says I just throw darts. I like throwing darts.
You ever bet on darts?
I've fucking bet on darts.
I have not.
There's not many things I haven't bet on.
Is it bad that the crowd at the average dart match was better than the crowd at the Super Bowl? Is that bad?
Yeah, I would say
That dart crowd for the Premier League for darts, absolutely wild. It's a hell of a crowd.
Oh, it's a good time. It's a good time. Ryan Page wants to know, since they lost Betty Hield and Bagley, who do they fucking have?
They got Sabonis, who's
Yeah.
really good. They still kept Fox, still got Harrison Barnes. Their team isn't good, but you're comparing their roster to the Nets, and they have enough talent to beat a team that's lost 11 in a row. The Nets, people go, how have they lost this many games? Because half their team is dead.
Hey,
I mean, it's
and
the
we
way it
didn't get a chance to get to this officially, so I'm not going to do the whole fucking thing. But the donkey of the day was going to be Vernon Hargreaves for getting a fucking penalty when he wasn't on the active roster. Is that one of the most egregious penalties ever?
It's not a good one. I mean, I don't know how much it mattered because it was half a distance to the goal at the end of the first half. Nobody scored after that, so it wasn't like it really had any impact on the game. But seeing the guy limping onto the field to celebrate just to get a penalty was absolutely hilarious to me. That's just funny.
Yep. Dart matches. Yep. Dart matches are kind of hype. I've bet them before. Yep. Do we like the Warriors tonight? We'll take a look. And Jones says she's going to ride with Vermont till the wheels fall off. I don't disagree with that.
Vermont, I said first week of the season, they're clearly the best team in the American East, and I believe they can wrap up the 1 seed, I think, with a win tonight.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think they can wrap up the 1 seed in the conference tournament with a win.
They're undefeated in conference play. So
no, I'm saying I think they could. I think they can put a bow on it tonight.
I was gonna say they got to be getting close to the magic number. Warriors tonight, Scott.
I'm tempted by it.
I am too. The Clippers team, obviously not good. But
Norman Powell's out for about a month now.
Warriors 1-5 against the number here in the second half of the season. I'm not thrilled about that. I got to be honest.
No, they let teams hang around all the time.
Yep.
Which is the concern. I like the under. There has been money coming in on the under. Of course, the Warriors defense has been struggling a bit lately, but I'm looking at the Clippers offense, and I know that Powell did not play last game. Mm-hmm. They won. They scored less than a hundo, but they won. Powell was the guy they traded for at the deadline, who was supposed to provide a spark. But who do they have? Yeah, I mean, you got what? Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson? Like that's your main offensive.
Is Morris healthy now?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, you got him, you got Reggie, a little bit of Terrence Mann in there, but you just don't have many guys.
No.
And Golden State offensively, Thompson looked great against the Lakers. Curry's been awful for a month and a half, 2 months, which is extremely concerning. But Wiggins is a pretty good defender. Kuminga is a pretty good defender. I'd look at the under. I just think 220 is too high when I'm really not sure if the Clippers even get to 105.
All right.
Do you think the Clippers get to 105? I don't know if that's really a certainty.
I mean, this for whatever reason, this Lakers defense is just puking up points right now, man.
The Warriors defense.
The Warriors defense. They've given up 111 or more in 5 of their last 6. I can't get behind an under with the team playing like that. You're giving up 116 to the Knicks? Come on, man. No.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? I got juiced on the blue Gatorade last night. I no brainer with the Rams, and he told me what they were making up. Yeah, oh man. All right, let's do it, Scott. It is that time. It is Monday. We have flown through the show. For all those of you that were looking for more picks, we need to do another show. Maybe we'll just figure out how to do another show and
3 hours.
Shit. Yeah, just fucking let's do it. Let's light it up.
We didn't really like the card that much. So
no,
sorry.
that was part of the problem. So, and again, Super Bowl, we're gonna talk about it mainly to get it off to let us vent, because we haven't got to vent. So sorry for being part of our 45-minute vent, but and now the time that everybody's been waiting for, and I really do feel that's true, because we see the fucking numbers swell. Not that they don't love us for 40 minutes, Scott, but that last 5 minutes seems to do a lot better. So let's get ready, everybody. It's Monday. It's post Super Bowl. Put those football overalls away. They're done. It's time for your basketball overalls. Get them out. Strap them up. Climb aboard your John Deere. Get out those keys with your lucky rabbit foot, and get ready to bet the farm. Scott, I do believe we had a bet the farm play for Friday night. How'd that end up doing?
We had the Thunder plus 14 against the 76ers. They lost, but only by 13. So we won.
Get those good numbers. Yeehaw! All right. What do we got cooked up for today, my friend?
So we're going with a player prop, and it's going to involve the Kings and the Nets game. And we like Kings point guard, De'Aaron Fox, over 23.5 points, around minus 104. I believe it's mostly minus 110, but we did find a minus 104. Fox has been doing well offensively lately. He has scored at least 26 points in each of the last 4 games. Brooklyn's defense, not very good. Brooklyn has allowed at least 112 points in each of the last 7. And the Nets now have Patty Mills and Seth Curry as their starting backcourt. Good luck with that defensive matchup against De'Aaron Fox. Probably will not go well. And Sacramento also plays very up-tempo. Sacramento ranks 6th in the league in pace. Brooklyn ranks 11th. We think that the game should turn into a track meet. There's a reason why the total in this one's 228. We expect to see points, and Fox should lead the way because he's been doing really well lately, and the Nets really have no one who can guard him.
Horrible defense is the Brooklyn Nets. We like Fox over the 23.5 points. So there you go, guys. That's our Bet the Farm play, and that is our Monday show. Put a wrap on that because we are done, folks. Thanks very much for checking us out. Don't forget to check out all the offerings over here at the Winners and Whiners Sports Betting Network, as well as our regular old website, winnersandwhiners.com. It is the preeminent site in the world for sports betting and information. So check that out as well. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We do appreciate it. Make sure you come back and see us each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as Scott and I will do our very best to help you to head back to